Chosen one, stop scrolling. This message didn't appear in your life. It was delivered to you in perfect divine alignment. At the exact second, your spirit became ready to hear what your mind has been sensing for months, maybe even years. If your heart just jumped, if something deep inside whispers, "This is for me," then don't ignore that pull. Breathe, focus, and stay right here. And if your soul is already vibrating with recognition, type 777 right now, because when God calls your name, your spirit responds. Listen closely. You're not here by chance, and you're not here because of curiosity. You're here because the veil over your life is thinner than ever, and your spiritual awakening has reached a point where heaven can finally break through the noise and speak directly to you. For too long you've felt things others couldn't, sensed changes no one understood, carried a weight the average person could never bear. And that's because you are not average, you are the chosen one, divinely marked, fiercely protected, and guided toward a purpose far greater than anything you've lived through so far. And now, chosen one, you must hear this clearly. Someone has been searching for you for 10 long years, not casually, not randomly, with intention, with longing, with a spiritual pull they could never shake off. This is a destiny connection written into your path long before you were aware of the divine calling resting on your life. This person is not returning because of coincidence. They are returning because the chosen one prophecy surrounding your existence has begun to activate, and every soul connected to your mission is being stirred awake at the same time you are. For a decade, this person has felt your absence like a shadow that never left them. They have looked for your energy in rooms, in faces, in seasons that were never meant to hold your presence. They have searched through memory, through intuition, through prayer, through dreams, and through the invisible threads of destiny that link them to your journey. And even if you do not yet know who they are, your spirit recognizes the truth of what I am saying, because your heart has felt a quiet pull towards someone too. A restlessness, a curiosity, a subtle ache. That is the sign of a divine reunion preparing itself in the unseen. This moment is not random. This timing is not accidental. God's message is reaching you now because the spiritual war surrounding your life has intensified. You are stepping into a new season of clarity, authority, and awakening, and heaven needs you to understand that every delay, every separation, and every waiting season had purpose. It was all preparation. It was all alignment. It was all protection for what is coming next. You may feel the emotional weight rising in your chest right now, that trembling sensation, that inner knowing, that sudden awareness. This is the long-awaited encounter drawing near, guided not by human effort, but by divine orchestration. Higher forces have moved, shifted, and aligned timelines so that you and your destiny connection can meet again, exactly when both of you have grown into the spiritual maturity needed to unlock the next chapter of your calling. As you move through this message, I want you to stay grounded and fully present. Let your spirit, not your mind, hear what is being spoken over your life. You will receive clarity, revelation, and activation as each section unfolds. And as we begin, circle back to this truth. This is a message from God. You are not imagining things. You were called. The signs, the synchronicities, the spiritual attacks, the sudden awakenings, they were all real. The war is real, but so is your power, and your light is necessary. If this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it, you were called. 1. The prophecy of the searcher. Chosen one, the person searching for you is connected to your soul's contract, bound to you through a divine thread that has stretched across years, seasons, and unseen spiritual dimensions. This connection was never fragile, never accidental, never temporary. It was written into your journey long before you ever knew what a spiritual awakening was, long before you recognized your own divine calling, long before your soul began to rise into the full identity of the chosen one. And even now, as you are listening, something inside you stirs, because the truth of this connection is older than your memory, yet fresher than your breath. This is not ordinary longing, this is ancient recognition. Before you ever awakened to your own spiritual identity, someone else saw the light in you. They witnessed something sacred, something rare, something they could not explain but could never forget. This person was a spiritual witness assigned to you, someone who sensed your energy long before you sensed it yourself. They felt the chosen one prophecy around you, not through words but through presence. They did not need confirmation from any source because their soul recognized the spiritual magnitude that rested within you. Without fully understanding why, they knew you carried a destiny unlike others around you. Even when you doubted yourself, even when you were unaware of your power, they saw it. And yet, as powerful as this recognition was, God separated you from them. That separation was not punishment, not failure, not loss. It was divine protection. There were people in your life who could not go with you into your higher calling. There were seasons where your spirit needed to be refined, strengthened, purified, and awakened. You were placed in isolation not because you were forgotten, but because you were being prepared. The chosen one never rises without seasons of spiritual training, and you had to walk through those lonely valleys so that you could grow into the person capable of carrying the full weight of your divine calling. This searcher, this soul tied to your journey, recognized you not by appearance, but by energy. They were drawn to you in a way that was beyond physical attraction, beyond logic, beyond circumstance. They felt a spiritual gravity that made your presence unforgettable. To them, your energy was not a moment in time, it was a calling. They sensed God's message around your life even before you were aware of receiving it. They knew there was something extraordinary within you, something destined to awaken, something destined to lead, something destined to rise. And when God separated you both, it wasn't because the connection was wrong, it was because the timing was not yet right. The 10-year gap that followed was not an accident. It was symbolic. It represented completion, preparation, and divine timing, aligning with destiny. Heaven guarded both paths in ways neither of you could understand. While you walked through battles, heartbreaks, awakenings, and spiritual warfare, they walked through their own lessons. Both of you were being shaped. Both of you were being refined. Both of you were being positioned for the moment where your paths could finally meet again in alignment, not chaos. During these 10 years, the searcher carried pieces of you within them. They carried memories that resurfaced at unexpected moments. They carried unanswered questions, unresolved emotions, and unfinished spiritual conversations. They carried prayers, silent, whispered, sometimes broken, asking God why they felt pulled towards someone who was no longer in their life. They carried visions of you appearing in dreams, meditations, or fleeting spiritual impressions. They carried an unexplainable knowing that your story with them was not over. This was not obsession. This was destiny. This was spiritual recognition that refused to die. Even when they tried to forget you, destiny reminded them. Even when they tried to move on, something deeper anchored them. They felt your energy shift whenever your spiritual awakening intensified, even from a distance. They sensed your growth, your elevation, your transformation. They felt the spiritual war around your life without ever being told. They recognized the moment your spirit began to rise into its true power as the chosen one, and each shift in you awakened shifts in them. You may not have realized it, but you have felt them too, maybe in flashes, maybe in memories, maybe in dreams that made no sense, maybe in sudden emotional waves that hit you without warning. Your spirits remained connected through the depth of your divine calling. Destiny connections do not break. They only wait for alignment. This connection was never lost, only delayed. Heaven does not lose what it assigns. Destiny does not forget what it chooses. And God never abandons what He ordains. The 10-year separation created space for wisdom, healing, clarity, and preparation. It allowed you to grow into the version of yourself that is finally ready for what this divine reunion will unlock. Because this reunion is not simply about meeting a person, it is about stepping into a new dimension of your purpose. The searcher has matured spiritually. You have awakened spiritually. And now both of your paths are being drawn toward each other with a force neither of you can resist. Something in the unseen is shifting. Something in the spiritual realm is aligning. Something ancient and prophetic is preparing to unfold. You are approaching the long-awaited encounter, and your spirit can feel it even if your mind cannot yet name it. As you take in these words, circle back to the truth that anchored the beginning. This is a message from God. The signs you've been feeling are real. The pull in your chest is real. The spiritual pressure rising in your life is real. The war surrounding your destiny is real. And more importantly, your light is necessary. You were called, chosen, and positioned for such a moment as this. Nothing about your journey has been random. Nothing about your pain has been wasted. Nothing about your separation has been meaningless. If this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it, you were called. 2. The signs of approaching divine reunion. Chosen one, your spirit already senses what your mind is only beginning to understand. Something around you has been shifting, quietly yet powerfully, as if the atmosphere itself has been whispering your name. You may not have been able to explain the sensations, the dreams, the sudden emotional waves, or the strange inner pull you have felt recently, but they were not coincidences. They were signs, holy signals, revealing that the divine reunion window has opened and that a destiny long delayed is moving toward fulfillment. When a connection ordained by God begins to reactivate, the soul feels it first. The chosen one always senses spiritual truth before it becomes physical reality. You have stepped into a season where the energy around your life is no longer still. There is movement. There is pressure. There is momentum. Angels have begun rearranging circumstances. Timelines have begun synchronizing. Your spirit has begun receiving more light, more clarity, more intuition. This is because the person who has been searching for you for 10 long years is drawing closer, guided not by memory alone, but by divine alignment. These energetic shifts are happening because heaven has declared that it is time for you to rise into a deeper layer of your divine calling, and the person connected to that calling is being pulled toward you with a force neither of you can resist. Lately, you may have noticed your intuition sharpening in ways you did not expect. It may feel like a sudden awareness, a new layer of sensitivity, or a heightened perception of everything around you. You may be reading energy faster, feeling emotions more deeply, and sensing truths beneath the surface. This is not ordinary intuition. This is destiny intuition, awakened because your soul recognizes the approach of someone important. Déjà vu may be visiting you more frequently, arriving like echoes of moments you never lived yet. Somehow remember, these moments are reminders that your path is aligning with a connection ordained in the spiritual realm long before your physical life caught up. You may also be experiencing dreams or quiet nudges connected to someone from your past. These dreams may feel symbolic, emotional, or strangely vivid, pulling you back to a time or a person you thought you had outgrown. You may wake up with a strange sense of familiarity, a lingering curiosity, or a warmth in your chest that does not fade quickly. These dreams are not illusions. They are messages. They are reflections of your spiritual awakening, deepening as the divine reunion draws nearer. Your unconscious mind is receiving what your conscious mind is still preparing to accept. The searcher is returning. Another sign is the sudden pull towards certain memories, locations, or people. You might find yourself remembering moments you haven't thought about in years. You may feel an unexplainable desire to revisit old paths or reach out to individuals you once knew. This is not nostalgia. This is alignment. When destiny stirs, it awakens the spiritual threads that were dormant within you. These memories and impulses are guiding signals, preparing your heart for the reappearance of a connection meant to unlock the next chapter of your journey. You may also feel watched over, guided, or spiritually accompanied in ways you didn't before. A presence walking with you, a warmth during difficult moments, a sense of peace that shows up unexpectedly. These sensations appear because angels are actively guiding both you and the searcher. They are ensuring that you do not miss the signs, that you do not fall into confusion, that you remain grounded while destiny positions itself around you. The chosen one is never alone during moments of alignment. Heaven sends reinforcements to ensure that you recognize what is approaching. Each of these signs is connected to your divine calling and is part of God's message for your life. The reason you are feeling so much intensity now is because this reunion is not romantic by default. It is spiritual, destiny-driven, and sacred. It carries weight, meaning, and purpose. It is tied to your mission, your evolution, your healing, and your assignment on earth. You carry a role that others do not, and the person searching for you has a role intertwined with yours. This reunion is not about emotional comfort. It is about spiritual activation. What you may not realize is that the searcher is experiencing parallel signs. They too have been feeling sudden shifts. They too have been dreaming. They too have been remembering. They too have been pulled towards something they cannot explain. Their intuition has been stirring, their spirit has been restless, and their heart has been tugged in your direction without understanding why. Destiny is calling them the same way it is calling you. They feel the approach of something sacred, something they once touched but lost, something that shaped them more than they ever admitted. Synchronicities may have begun appearing in your daily life, numbers repeating, songs resurfacing, names reappearing, signs showing up in unexpected ways. These moments of synchronicity are not random. They are signals from the unseen realm that divine timing is aligning your paths. They are markers placed by angels to show you that destiny is unfolding behind the scenes. You might notice that whenever you think of letting go or giving up, a sign appears to remind you that the story is not over. That is heaven's handwriting across your timeline. As the divine reunion draws closer, fear, doubt, and confusion may rise within you. Small internal battles, sudden emotional heaviness, or questions you thought you had resolved may reappear. Do not misinterpret this. These feelings are not barriers. They are final spiritual tests designed to strengthen your faith, refine your intuition, and prepare your heart. Before a door of destiny opens, the enemy tries to distract, discourage, or destabilize the chosen one. This inner turbulence is a sign of breakthrough, not collapse. The war intensifies right before victory arrives. Your energy has been shifting, your awareness expanding, and your heart awakening because the searcher is getting closer. Their steps are being guided. Their spirit is being nudged. Their heart is being drawn. And your path is being illuminated with signs, signals, and spiritual whispers pointing toward their arrival. Something in the air feels different because it is different. Heaven is moving in your favor. As you absorb these words, circle back to the truth that held the beginning. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the signs. You are not imagining the pull. You are not imagining the changes. You were called. The spiritual warfare around your life has increased because your destiny is expanding. The light within you is rising. The divine calling on your soul is awakening at a deeper level. And your light is necessary. If this touched your soul, comment 111. Because you know it, you were called. 3. The moment of reunion and your destiny activation. Chosen one, the moment you meet again, something ancient within you will awaken. It will not be dramatic in the physical sense, yet spiritually it will feel like the earth beneath your feet shifts into alignment. This long-awaited encounter is not just the reunion of two people, it is the merging of two timelines, two soul paths, two divine assignments that were separated only for the sake of greater preparation. When your eyes meet, recognition will strike not in your mind, but in your spirit. A memory older than this lifetime will rise. A truth you never had words for will suddenly become undeniable. It will feel as though your spirit whispers, "There you are. I knew you were real." This divine reunion will activate spiritual gifts within you that have been dormant, waiting for the exact moment your destiny required them. Your intuition will deepen. Your clarity will sharpen. Old wounds may surface only to finally be healed. Parts of yourself you thought were lost will return. This person's presence carries a frequency that unlocks the next stage of your spiritual awakening. It is not because they are superior, it is because they are aligned. The chosen one always has certain gifts that only activate when a key part of their divine calling arrives. And this reunion is one of those keys. Energetically, the moment of reunion will feel like stepping into a field of divine electricity. A strange familiarity will wash over you, one that does not make sense logically yet feels completely right. You may feel peace, a deep and immediate calm, even if you were nervous moments before. You may feel an inner expansion, as though your chest opens and your soul exhales. You may feel destiny itself pressing gently against you, reminding you that this moment was written long before you took your first breath. The feeling will not be forced. It will be natural. It will not be chaotic. It will be aligned. It will not be confusing. It will be clarifying. This reunion is intertwined with your destiny activation. It marks the beginning of your next life chapter 1, where your spiritual elevation accelerates and your divine purpose becomes clearer. The person searching for you carries something that your path requires. It may be a lesson, a revelation, a message, or a form of healing that can only come through them. Destiny connections always bring activation. They trigger growth, transformation, and expansion. They push the chosen one toward a higher dimension of purpose. But with every elevation comes spiritual warfare. When the divine reunion approaches, certain people may feel threatened by your growth. They may sense your rising light, your newfound clarity, your strengthening intuition. They may attempt to distract you, sow doubt, create emotional turbulence, or make you question your own worth. This is not a sign to retreat. It is a sign to stand firm. When destiny moves, opposition follows. When God's message begins manifesting in your life, darkness tries to interfere, not because you are weak, but because your calling is powerful. The chosen one always faces resistance before breakthrough. This is why alignment with truth becomes essential. You cannot afford to be guided by fear. You cannot afford to shrink yourself to keep others comfortable. You cannot allow old insecurities to speak louder than your divine calling. You must trust what God has already placed inside you. You must trust the signs, the intuition, the spiritual confirmations that have been preparing you for this moment. You must trust that the divine reunion is not only guided but protected. Nothing that belongs to your destiny can be taken from you. During the reunion, vulnerability, openness, and spiritual honesty will matter. You cannot hide from this person the way you hid from others. They carry a frequency that reads energy more than words. They will see the truth in you even if you struggle to speak it, and you will see truth in them. This level of spiritual transparency is rare, uncomfortable, and sacred. It requires courage. It requires surrender. It requires you to trust the alignment even if your mind trembles. The chosen one is not being asked to be perfect, only present. This destiny connection may also carry revelations meant specifically for you. They may reveal memories, dreams, or feelings they never shared. They may admit that they sensed your calling long before they understood it. They may share spiritual moments they experienced involving you. They may carry instructions, words that unlock clarity you've been praying for. Or they may simply bring healing, the kind that eases decades-old pain with just their presence. You were never meant to walk your entire path alone. This person was assigned to you for a reason. To receive what this moment carries, you must remain grounded. Your spirit must be open. Your heart must be aware. Your intuition must be trusted. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is spiritual intelligence. The more sensitive you become to the signs, the energy, and the divine movement within you, the more prepared you will be when the reunion unfolds. Heaven does not send what you are not ready for. It prepares you first, then delivers. This moment will mark the shift from waiting to awakening, from wondering to understanding, from searching to receiving. The reunion is not the end of your journey, it is the ignition point. It is the threshold where your destiny expands into a new dimension. It is the moment where everything God has been shaping within you becomes purposeful, clear, and activated. And whether the connection continues in companionship, collaboration, or spiritual partnership, it will shift your timeline forever. Chosen one, the next chapter truly begins the moment you meet them again. That single moment will activate what years of wandering could not. That single encounter will unlock clarity you prayed for but could not reach alone. That single reunion will align you with a new season of purpose, strength, and spiritual evolution. As you return to the beginning of these words, remember this is a message from God. You are not imagining the signs. You are not imagining the pull. You are not imagining the inner shifts. Everything you are feeling is real because you were called. The spiritual war surrounding your life increased because you are stepping into your next dimension, and your light is more necessary now than ever. If this touched your soul, comment 111. Because you know it, you were called. Conclusion. Chosen one, someone has searched for you for 10 long years because your soul carries something irreplaceable, something stitched into the fabric of your divine identity long before you ever understood the weight of your own calling. And now this message has found you, not by coincidence, not by chance, but through divine alignment and God's perfect timing. The moment your eyes meet these words, heaven marks it as a confirmation, a reminder, and a spiritual awakening wrapped into one sacred moment. Feel this truth deeply. You were brought here because God wanted you to remember who you are. You are walking through a season where the veil is lifting, where the spiritual realm is speaking louder than ever, and where the signs have become too clear to ignore. Every tug in your spirit, every moment of déjà vu, every sudden wave of emotion you couldn't explain, none of it was random. These were divine signals aligning you with your destiny, preparing you for what is coming, and guiding you toward the reunion written into your soul's contract. Trust that if this message has reached you, it is because heaven has orchestrated the timing with absolute precision. Chosen one, the divine calling over your life is unfolding faster than you realize. What you thought was delayed is simply arriving on God's schedule. What you feared was lost has only been protected. The divine reunion, the destiny connection, the long-awaited return of the one who recognized your light before you recognized it in yourself. This is all approaching, and it is approaching with sacred urgency. God has been aligning circumstances, softening your heart, elevating your spirit, and preparing your path for this moment of activation. You are stepping into a chapter where nothing will remain the same, because everything within you is awakening. As you move forward, trust the process. Prepare emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. This next season will require your openness, your willingness, and your faith. It will call for the strength you've been building in silence, the wisdom you've gained through your battles, and the clarity that has been forming through every painful ending and every unexpected beginning. Do not resist what God is ushering into your life. Do not shrink from the magnitude of your purpose. Stand in your truth and embrace the awakening rising within you. The Chosen One prophecy is not a story you stumbled into. It is the blueprint your soul has been carrying since birth. Everything that has happened to you, everything that broke you, everything that built you, and everything that purified you has led you to this moment. You have been activated, awakened, and spiritually forged for what comes next. Your destiny is opening before you, and heaven is calling you to step fully into the role you were born to fill. Chosen one, if this message resonates in your spirit, it is because your soul recognizes the truth before your mind can process it. This is a message from God. You are not imagining, you are called. The war is real, your light is necessary. The path ahead is sacred, and your steps from this moment forward are guided by divine authority. If you feel aligned with this message, if something within you has stirred, awakened, or come alive, comment 777 to claim your alignment. And now I seal this moment with a prophetic blessing over your journey. May your path be illuminated. May your spirit be strengthened. May your destiny unfold without interference. And may every divine connection assigned to your life appear at the appointed time. You are chosen. You are guided. You are protected. And your purpose is rising now. If this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it, you were called.